very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
My name's Jane. This is my friend Pauline. I live in Lincoln, and Pauline lives in Kent.
Couple number two.
Hello, Alexander. I'm Chris. This is Daniela, my daughter-in-law. I'm from Sheffield. Daniela's from Barnsley.
Couple number three.
Hello, my name's Kareem. This is my mum, Janet, and we're from London and Retford, Nottinghamshire.
And finally, couple number four.
My name's Jack. This is my teammate Luke, and we're students from Portsmouth.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. A very warm welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you with us. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. Here with the patter when it matters. And, let's face it, often when it doesn't matter, it's my Pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Welcome back, Janet and Kareem as well. Knocked out in round one last time. And what a final we had last time. Katie and Ashley to answer questions about comedy films, one of which was Hairspray, which just happened to be their favourite film of all time.
Yeah.
There was an audible gasp when we read out the question. They got 5 pointless answers within the 60 seconds. Obviously, only gave us 3 of them. So £2,250 they walked away with their favourite film ever. So sometimes it falls for you, right?
It just does. Yeah. Nice. Thanks very much indeed. Well, you got the headlines there. Katie and Ashley winning the jackpot there. So, yes, that means today's jackpot starts off back at £1,000. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. All you have to remember is this. The pair with the highest score at the end of each round will be eliminated. So just keep your scores nice and low and everything will be peachy. Best of luck to all 4 pairs. Our first category this afternoon is famous people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns men with female first names as surnames. Richard.
Yeah, 7 clues on each board to famous people. They are all men whose surname could be used as a first name by a woman. There's going to be 14 in all for you to have a go at home.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, so let's reveal our first board of 7 men with surnames that could be the first names of women. That's right.
Couldn't be simpler.
James Blank, Irish author, whose novels include Ulysses. Don Blank, classical and jazz pianist, who is the subject of the 2018 film Green Book. Spencer Blank, actor who won back-to-back Best Actor awards for the films Captains Courageous and Boys Town. Howard Blank, footballer who, as manager of Everton, won 2 league titles in the FA Cup in 1984. Charles Blank, American jeweller who founded his namesake company with John Young in 1837. John Blank, US Secretary of State from 2013 to 2017, who was the Democratic nominee in the 2004 presidential election. And Percy Bysshe Blank, English romantic poet whose works include Ozymandias and To a Skylark. I'm going to read those names again. James Blank, Don Blank, Spencer Blank, Howard Blank, Charles Blank, John Blank and Percy Bysshe Blank. Jane, welcome to Pointless.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. You're looking a little bit perplexed, Jane.
No,
all right? Is everything OK?
I know some of them.
It's OK. This is good.
it's
Tell
okay.
us all about yourself, Jane.
So I live in Lincoln. I'm married with 2 children and I'm a primary school teacher.
I love Lincoln. Lincoln's
Beautiful.
a beautiful place. And how long have you been a primary school teacher, Jane?
For about 18 years.
And what are your interests, Jane?
I love afternoon tea. That's a huge hobby.
The making and having of afternoon tea.
Yeah, so...
I completely agree. Do you have it with cup and a saucer?
So, definitely, yeah, and it's going to establishments. I don't do it at my house.
Oh, you don't do it at home?
No.
Okay.
I have to go.
It has to come with a what do you call those things?
Just a cake tier.
A cake
stand,
tier, a tiered stand.
Yeah,
that's it.
Definitely with the sandwiches.
Excellent, with the sandwiches. Very
so
good.
people know that when it's birthday, Christmas, Mother's Day, afternoon tea vouchers.
That's what Jane wants.
Yeah, definitely.
Afternoon tea. Very good. OK, what are you going to go for, Jane?
I know 2 definites, and there's one I'm not sure about, but I think as I'm first, I'm going to go with one I know. So I'm going to go for the top one for the author, and I'm going to go James Joyce.
James Joyce says Jane. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Joyce for James Joyce. It's right. And down it goes to 55. Not bad. Gets us off to a decent start there, 55.
Yeah, James Joyce. Joyce being the female first name there. Do you see how it works?
I see what you've done. Yeah,
Clever,
got
isn't it?
Yeah, it's clever. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Daniela, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself, Daniela.
I'm a ballroom and Latin dance instructor. I have 2 children, which is my main job, really. And
Ballroom and Latin, I mean, that's enormous fun. How much of your week is spent doing that?
well, as I say, I've got 2 small children, so I've just really started back coaching couples for competitions and things again quite recently.
Do you get people coming in who are people who are engaged to be married who have to learn a first dance?
Yes, I do.
I should imagine a bit of Latin. That's just
Yeah.
what they want to learn. How long does it take to get a sort of a total beginner up to something decent?
It depends how much of a fancy routine they want. If they want something quite simple, just 3 or 4 lessons, but if they want something a bit more intricate, some people will come from like 6 months to a year.
And they do get better. You see them improve.
Well, hopefully.
Daniela, what are you going to go for on our board here?
Right, well, there's one that I definitely know, and there's one that's a bit more risky. I'll try Spencer Tracy for the third one down.
OK, Spencer Tracy, the actor who won back-to-back Best Actor awards. Let's find out if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Spencer Tracy. It absolutely is Spencer Tracy. 63 for Spencer Tracy.
Sorry.
And so far, the names could work the other way around, couldn't they?
Yes.
Joyce James would be a good name, and Tracy Spencer, I went to
Yes.
school with.
I bet you did.
Statistically, I imagine I did.
Entirely possible, yeah. Thank you very much, Richard. Janet, welcome back to Pointless. Lovely to have you with us once again. Remind us all about yourself, Janet.
I was a teacher for 40 years. I'm now retired. And since retiring, I volunteer at the local hospice 1 day a week. I belong to a calligraphy group, and I also enjoy Moroccan cooking.
Was your handwriting always good before you joined the calligraphy group?
I was taught italic when I was at school, and then I didn't do it for years and years, but about 15 years ago, I went on a course, and since then we set up a group, and we meet once a month.
It must be so satisfying when you start. It must get quite stressful as you get to the end, because if you make a mistake then, all your good work's
If
gone.
you make one single mistake, you have to do the whole page again.
Janet, what are you going to go for?
Well, there were 3 that I knew, and 2 of them have now gone. But I'd like to go for the bottom one, Percy Bysshe Shelley, the English romantic poet.
There we are. Percy Bysshe Shelley says Janet. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Shelley. It's right. 63 the high score, 55 the low. Down you go to 47. Very well done. New low score.
See, that name wouldn't work the other way around.
No.
Shelley Percy Bysshe. When he was cremated, his heart survived. They couldn't cremate it, which they took because they said because it was a poet, but it's because he previously had tuberculosis. They now think, which is less romantic, but more medically accurate.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Luke, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I'm from Hertfordshire, but I'm studying at the University of Portsmouth, studying economics.
What year are you in?
Just finishing 2nd year now.
And Portsmouth. Oh, did you know Portsmouth at all before you went?
No, not at all. I'd never even been
It's just
before I started.
beautiful. It's lovely, Portsmouth. Have you fallen in love with Portsmouth?
Yeah, we love it down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I bet. And what are your interests, Luke?
I'm a big football fan. I'm a Chelsea fan. I do a lot of running. I still play a lot of football. Really into my music and films and stuff, so...
OK, very good. Now, this board's all yours. Do you fancy filling in all those blanks for us?
Oh, I really should get the second one, the Green Book. When I watched it recently, I'm going to kick myself because I can't remember what it is. I do know the American jeweller. I think that's Tiffany. But I'm not sure. I should know the footballer as well. It's just, the 2 I knew were James Joyce and Spencer Tracy. So I'm going to go with Charles Tiffany.
Charles Tiffany. Well, you got lots of nods from around the assembled companies, so that's looking good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Charles Tiffany. It's right. Well, 63 the high score, 47 the low. Look at that. Down you go. Charles Tiffany to 29. Very well done indeed, Luke.
Well played, Luke. I couldn't work that out. I knew it must be a famous jewellery brand. I couldn't... of course, it's Tiffany. Very well played. The football manager is Howard Kendall. We've scored you 17 points. The US Secretary of State is John Kerry. That would have scored you 14. Now, the other one's the best answer on the board. I'm exactly like you, Luke. I went to see it really recently, and it has absolutely slipped my mind. And it's Don Shirley. Don Shirley. And that would have scored 4 points. Very well done if you said that at home.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we're halfway through our round. Let's take a quick look at those scores. 29, well done, Luke, the best score of the pass. Then we travel up to 47, where we find Kareem and Janet. Then 55, Jane and Pauline. Then 63, Daniela and Chris. I mean, it's not wildly higher than everyone else, but a nice low score from you, Chris, and the next pass would help. OK, good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more clues up on the board, and here they are. Henry Blank, host of the BBC game show Going for Gold between 1987 and 1996. John Blank, Scottish actor who played Jack Clough in the comedy police TV series A Touch of Cloth. W.G. Blank, English cricketer who in 1876 scored the first ever triple century in first-class cricket. James Blank, founding father who served as the 4th President of the United States. Babe Blank, New York Yankees baseball star known as the Sultan of Swat. Gary Blank, actor who's played Danny Pennant in EastEnders and Luke Morgan in Hollyoaks. And Justin Blank, golfer who won gold for Team GB at the 2016 Olympic Games. Let me read those names one last time. Henry Blank, John Blank, W.G. Blank, James Blank, Babe Blank, Gary Blank, and Justin Blank. There we are. Jack, welcome to the show. Great to have you here on Pointless. Jack, tell us all about yourself.
So I'm Jack, I'm 22. I'm originally from Guildford, but I'm at university in Portsmouth, and that's where I know Luke from.
OK, what are you studying at Portsmouth, Jack?
Politics.
Politics, also in your second year?
Yeah.
OK, and what are your hopes and dreams when you leave Portsmouth? What do you want to get into?
I'm not too sure at the moment. I think I need to have a good think about that before I decide to run.
OK, so you really might go into politics?
Well, you never know. You never know.
I mean, how many of the people on your course are planning on some kind of political career?
I think quite a few are.
Seriously?
Quite a few are, yeah.
Well, that's good. That's promising. Jack, you're on 29. If you could score 33 or less, you will get yourselves into the next round.
I know quite a few on there, but the one I'm going to go for, and I know him from The Bill, is Gary Lucy.
Gary Lucy, the actor who's played Danny Pennant in EastEnders. Let's see if that's right. Gary Lucy, there's your red line. Let's see if we can get below that with Gary Lucy. It is Gary Lucy. Look at that. Good enough, Jack. Very strong performance. 27 takes your total up to 56.
Well played, Jack. He's also appeared in the stage adaptation of The Full Monty. Subject close to your heart.
Certainly. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Kareem, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself, Kareem.
I'm a commercial director at a marketing agency in London.
OK, and tell us something surprising about yourself, Kareem.
So I used to be a journalist, and there was a period of 3 years where I ran my own magazine, travel magazine, and I based myself in India while I did that.
Well, that's a nice thing to do. Did it go well?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the company went bankrupt in the end, but yeah, it was a really good adventure.
Fun, though.
Yeah.
That was a way to run a company into the ground,
Exactly.
Kareem. Brilliant. So, but India, where were you based in India?
Mumbai.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, wonderful.
Ah, and then back you came. But keeping a magazine going, you know, a nice travel magazine.
3 years, it was a good run.
It's a great experience. Yeah, absolutely. 47 is your score at the moment, Kareem. 15 or less is what's required of you at this stage.
So I know a few of these. I'm going to have to take a risk, I think. And I'm going to go for the second one down, and I think that's John Hannah.
John Hannah, says Kareem. Here is your red line, though, quite low. Can you get near that, I wonder, with John Hannah? Possibly even below it. Let's find out. Oh, look at that. Yes, you can. 12. Very well done indeed. 59 is your total.
Yes, a good answer. Famous actor, but perhaps not quite so famous for appearing in that. That was an early piece by Charlie Brooker and Annabelle Jones, who went on to do Black Mirror and had enormous success with that.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Chris, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Chris.
Hello, Alexander. Hello, everyone. I'm been retired 7 years after spending 42 years in sales, selling LPG, liquefied petroleum gas.
So
Butane and propane.
Where do you sell that, Chris?
Well, I spent the last 12 years selling to the aerosol industry.
Oh, I see.
For the propellant for
No,
the
give me more.
formula.
Give me more clues. More clues.
Hairspray, air freshener, polish.
You
Got
can
it,
tell
got it.
Chris worked in sales, can't you? You can just see it.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's the first contestant ever to say hello everyone as well, which is
That's
such
really
a nice
nice.
thing to
And
do.
also, well done, our nice crowd. There was a little mumble of... It's nice. Very good. Now, Chris, there you are on 63. You're the high scorers at the moment. We need a low score from you.
Well, I know 3.
Good.
And I think I'm going to go for the New York New York Yankees baseball star, known as the Sultan of SWAT, and that's Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, says Chris. OK, no red line, you're the high scorers. Let's see how far down the column we get with Babe Ruth. ...63, exactly the same score as Daniela had. That takes you up to 126.
First baseball player to score 60 home runs in a season, first one ever to reach 500 home runs in his career as well, Babe Ruth.
Thanks very much, Richard. Pauline, welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Pauline.
Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, my name's Pauline. I'm from Kent, and I, for several years, was Jane's teaching assistant. But yes, I'm sort of carrying on doing the teaching assistant bit, but hoping to retire soon. At my age, I think I deserve a bit of time to myself.
Very nice. So what's on your list of things you want to do when you retire?
I'm shortly going out to New Zealand to stay with my cousin for a few months, and we're going to go around the South Sea Islands.
Lovely. Very good indeed. OK, Pauline, this board is all yours. Do you fancy filling in all those blanks for us?
I know 2. I know the top one and I know the bottom one. It's a question of which one I think might score less, but I think I'm going to go for the top one and say Henry Kelly.
Henry Kelly, says Pauline. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. There's your red line. You have to get below that to stay with us beyond the end of this round. It's right. And it gets you through. Well done. Down it goes to 45. Taking your total up to 100. Nice round figure.
Let's fill this in, shall we? WG Grace would have scored you 58. The founding father, you know, we do American presidents round sometimes, don't we?
Madison.
Well, you do learn, don't you?
Hamilton. No, see.
Oh, OK,
yeah,
there you go. James Madison would have scored you 13, and Justin Rose, which I think you knew as well there, would have scored 37. So the best answer on the board, Kareem, is John Hannah.
Thank you very much indeed. So at the end of our first round, the pair who are heading home with their high score of 126. I'm afraid, Chris and Daniela, it is you. However, we'll see you again next time and look forward to that very much. But meantime, thank you so much, Chris and Daniela.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Well, hearty congratulations to one and all. We've made it through round 1. Here we are, a slightly reduced number, just 3 pairs for round 2. Kareem, hats off to you. Lowest individual score of that round. Luke and Jack, lowest combined score, so very well done. Jane and Pauline, lovely to have you with us. So, best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 today is UK geography. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please address the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many UK cities with repeated letters as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any UK city that has a repeated letter anywhere in its name. So any letter that appears twice or more anywhere in its name. It doesn't have to be next to each other. So Richard, for example, has 2 R's in it, so that would be a correct answer. Were I a city, which I am not yet.
Oh, pending.
Yeah,
pending. OK, now, Jane, what's it going to be?
I'm going to go home and I'm going to go Lincoln.
And one of them's silent. What about that? Lincoln. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Lincoln. Brilliant answer. $15.
Very nice. You played 2 L's there, of course. In Roman times, it was called Lindum. So on Roman Pointless, you would have scored C.
Of course, two N's as well, I've just suddenly realised.
Lynn, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Two L's and
so
two N's.
So busy thinking about the L's. Didn't even spot the N's, they crept in.
I didn't spot the N's either. I was
The
going
N's
for the
just
L's.
snuck in like this.
Wow, so that's over 50% repeated letters you got yourself there.
Thanks very much. Janet, what are you going to go for?
Well, I was going to go for Lincoln because I used to live there as well, but I was pipped to the post. I'll go for another cathedral city, which I think they all are, but I'm going to go for Hereford.
Hereford, says Janet. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Hereford. Hereford is right. 15 is the only score we have at the moment. And Hereford passes 15, down to 3 for Hereford. Yeah.
Turns out it was lucky you were pipped to the post for Lincoln, doesn't it? 2 E's, 2 R's in Hereford.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Jack.
Well,
I
had a conversation with a friend of mine from university, and she said, if cities come up, don't forget about me. So I'm going to go Wells in Somerset.
Oh, what about that? Oh, that's brilliant. What was the name of your friend?
Rachel.
Rachel, he hasn't forgotten about you. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Wells. Well, 15's the high score, 3's the low. We passed the high score. There we are on 4. Very well done indeed. Well done, Rachel.
It's a very good answer. Often called England's smallest city, Wells. But now, unfortunately, you're going to owe Rachel money if you get the jackpot. Absolutely. I mean, that's a disastrous thing to do.
Now Richard's brought that up, you really do. Yeah.
Cheers.
So, Rachel, if you're sitting at home, I think everyone here agreed. He should probably give Rachel some of the money.
Yes! No.
There you go. Sorry.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 3, the best score of the past. Well done, Janet. Then up to 4, where we find Jack and Luke. Then 15, Jane and Pauline. But, Pauline, I'm sure you've got a nice low-scoring answer somewhere there. So let's see if we can produce that in the next pass, and maybe it'll be enough to keep you in the game. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, Luke. Remember, we're looking for any UK cities that have repeated letters in their names. What have you got?
OK, I'm going to go close to home as well and say St Albans.
St Albans, says Luke. OK, here is your red line. Can you get below that with St Albans? Let's find out. That's right. Very well done. Down to 4. Exactly the same as well. It's taking your total up to 8, seeing you comfortably through.
2 S's, 2 A's. Everyone's doing very well here.
Aren't they?
They recently bought out a special Monopoly board, which is English cities, and St Albans got the most expensive spot on the board.
Oh,
Mayfair.
really?
Yeah.
St Albans famously has more pubs per square foot than anywhere else, I think, in the United Kingdom.
Do you mean per capita?
No, literally per square foot, about 7 per square foot. It's got a lot of pubs. Now then, Kareem.
I am going to go up north, and I'm going to go for Kingston upon Hull.
Kingston, to give it its full name. Very nice. Kingston upon Hull, says Kareem. Here is your red line. Again, it's quite low. Let's see how far down the column we get with Kingston upon Hull. $20. 20 for Kingston upon Hull takes your total up to 23.
Yeah, L's, N's and O's. Kingston upon Hull. Even if you just said Hull, it's already got repeated letters, hasn't it? I suspect that's maybe why it scored 20 points, because of the Hull side of things.
Yes, I'm sure. Thank you, Richard. Now then, we come to you, Pauline. You're on 15. You have to score 7 or less.
I think I'm going to have to go slightly on a limb here, and I'm going to have a go at St David's.
Oh, St David's. Very good indeed. Let's see. Here is your red line. Can you get below that with St David's? Let's find out. You've done it! Look at that, down to 5. Very well done indeed. Takes your total up to 20. Brilliant answer there.
Very well played. The smallest city in Britain, only 1,800 people in St David's. I'll take you through some low scorers here. I'll go from 7 down. 7 points for Sunderland, Truro and Winchester. You'd have got 6 for Canterbury, Carlisle, Peterborough, Salisbury and Wolverhampton. 5 for Bradford, Lichfield. 4 for Stirling. You'd have got 3 for Chichester, Gloucester, Lancaster, Londonderry and St Asaph. You'd have got 2 for Stoke-on-Trent, Wakefield, Worcester. You'd have got 1 for Armagh, 1 for Westminster, and there's 1 pointless answer, and that is Brighton and Hove. Very well done if you said Brighton and Hove. Should we take a look at the top 3? 55 people named Leeds, 57 Liverpool, and 84 London. That's got a lot of, in just 6 letters, 66% are repeated.
66, nearly 67% repetition there.
Yes, if we round up, you're quite right.
Yeah.
Forgive me. I rounded down, which is amateurish.
Well, come on. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are at the end of our second round. Can I just commend you on how low your scores were? That was very, very impressive indeed. And all the sadder, therefore, to have to say goodbye to Kareem and Janet, our high scorers, on only 23. That's an astonishing achievement. That's normally a winning score. And it's just a mark of the calibre of player we have here today that we have to send you home on that score. Anyway, thank you so much for playing, Kareem and Janet. It's been lovely having you on both shows. Wonderful. Kareem and Janet, great congrats. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it is now time for the head-to-head. Huge congratulations, Luke and Jack, Jane and Pauline. You're now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. OK, will you now start playing as a pair? First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Well, this is nice.
It's going to be close, right? Surely.
I think so.
We don't really know them well enough yet, do we?
We don't. College friends, work friends.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's nice. Nice balance there.
Experience.
The
sort of, you know, maybe the energy of youth, some of that. Do you remember when we used to have energy? Great, wasn't it? Oh, before literally everything was an effort.
Well, very, very best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns dancing politicians. Richard.
I'll show you 5 pictures now of politicians dancing. All you have to do is name the dance they are doing. Not really. You just have to name the politicians, please.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 dancing politicians, and here they come. We have got A. B. C. D. And E. There we are. 5 dancing politicians. Who are they? Luke and Jack, you're our low scorers, so you get to go first.
I'm going to go for B, the current Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe.
Shinzo Abe. OK, Shinzo Abe, say Luke and Jack. Now, Jane and Pauline. Do you want to talk us through the rest of the board?
A is Theresa May. B, we had no idea. C, we think is Peter Mandelson. D is Boris Yeltsin. And E is Ed Balls. We're not going to beat B, so I think we'll go Peter Mandelson for C.
OK, C, Peter Mandelson. So we have Shinzo Abe and Peter Mandelson. Luke and Jack have gone for Shinzo Abe for B. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Shinzo Abe is absolutely right. And as Jane says, that's a nice low score. Oh, down to 5. Very well done indeed. Very good. Jane and Pauline, meanwhile, have gone for Peter Mandelson for C. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Peter Mandelson. It's right. And that goes down to 16. Again, not a bad score. But Shinjo Abe gets that one for you. Luke and Jack, well done. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, you had to feel a little bit for Jane and Pauline there, just, you know, excited about being in the head-to-head, and you guys go, yeah, Shinjo Abe we're going to go for, and then, as you'd imagine, that is the best answer. And actually, Peter Mandelson was the next best answer as well, so both teams did the best they could possibly do. We'll leave A for a minute. D is Boris Yeltsin. Yeltsin would have scored you 20.
That's the birdie song I think he's dancing to there,
I
isn't
think
it?
so. E is Ed Balls. He would have scored 63. Now, what do you reckon Theresa May scored? I should say we're recording this at a time where she is still Prime Minister. So...
85?
99.
Really?
99 for Theresa May.
Wow. Thank you very much indeed. OK, here comes your second question. Jane and Pauline, you have to win this one to stay in the game, so very best of luck. Our second question today is all about sewing and knitting. Richard.
Yep, 5 clues now to facts about sewing and knitting. Can you give us the most obscure answer?
Thank you very much indeed. So let's reveal our 5 sewing and knitting facts, and here they come. We have got Napoleon exhibited this famous embroidery in Paris in 1803. On a standard knitting pattern, the letter P stands for this type of stitch. The 2-word name commonly given to a piece of 50 by 55 centimetre fabric used in quilting. The actor who stars as couturier Reynolds Woodcock in the 2017 film Phantom Thread, and the Birmingham-born comedian who became presenter of the Great British Sewing Bee in 2019. I'm going to read those again. Napoleon exhibited this famous embroidery in Paris in 1803. On a standard knitting pattern, the letter P stands for this type of stitch. The 2-word name commonly given to a piece of 50 by 55 centimetre fabric used in quilting. The actor who stars as couturier Reynolds Woodcock in the 2017 film Phantom Thread, and the Birmingham-born comedian who became presenter of the Great British Sewing Bee in 2019. There we are. Jane and Pauline will go first.
There's a few we know. I think we're going to go with the bottom one. We're going to go Joe Lycett.
Joe Lycett, say Jane and Pauline. Joe Lycett for the Birmingham-born comedian, presenting the Sewing Bee. Luke and Jack, how about you? Do you want to talk us through the board?
Yeah, well, I know one definitely.
Which was that?
I'm going to say definitely, it better be. Actor in Phantom Thread.
I'm not going to knock you on acting knowledge, so we'll,
Yeah.
I'm not
The
too
top
sure.
one, top one. I thought it was the Bear Tapestry, but I'm not sure.
I think the actor will be...
Yeah,
if you know the
go with
actor, I
that.
think that'll be a
Yeah.
lower score.
Oh, this better be right. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis, the actor from The Phantom Thread. So, Joe Lycett is Jane and Pauline's answer for the comedian who now presents the Great British Sewing Bee. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Joe Lycett. It is Joe Lycett. And down that goes. That's a great answer. Down to 17. Very well done indeed. Luke and Jack, meanwhile, have gone for Daniel Day-Lewis, the actor starring in the wonderful Phantom Thread. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Daniel Day-Lewis. It's right. And it wins you the point. Very well done indeed. That's a great answer. Down to 8. And that means Luke and Jack, after only 2 questions, you're straight through to the final 2-0. Very well done.
That's a perfectly played head-to-head. Very well done. Joe Lycett versus Daniel Day-Lewis. That's a matchup I'd like to see.
Yes.
Now, what do you think the famous embroidery is at the top?
Must be the Bayer Tapestry.
It is, yeah. And that would have scored you 28. Standard knitting pattern, what's the letter P?
I don't know.
Anyone? Pearl. There you go.
That's
Absolutely
nice.
right. Would have scored 48. And the 2-word name commonly given to a piece of fabric used in quilting.
Oh, I think I might. Is it Fat Quarter?
It is Fat Quarter, and it's the best answer on the board as well.
Oh, no.
6 points that would have got you. Would have beaten Daniel Day-Lewis. You went for Joe Lycett instead of Fat Quarter.
Oh, Fat Quarter. Sounds like a sort of part of town you don't want to live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a burger you want to eat.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round. I'm afraid, Jane and Pauline, it is you. You'll be back next time, though, We'll see you then. I have every confidence you'll be doing just as well, if not maybe a little bit better next time. But thanks in the meantime for playing and playing so well. Jane and Pauline. Right, for Luke and Jack, it is now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Luke and Jack. You have seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is still standing at £1,000. But you've been really good right across the show. I mean, I'm really very impressive in that head-to-head round. It all bodes very well for this last round. What would you like to see come up? On the strength of what you've answered so far, I'd say probably anything.
Films for me, definitely. Films, definitely my one. Jack,
politics, football,
geography, football for both of us. Yeah,
darts.
Definitely. Darts for Jack.
Let's find out what what the headline topics are. Today's selection reads like this. Sporting Tigers, sleepy films, Brit Award winners in the 2010s, Mars. What do you think? You can chat that
top two, right?
What are sleepy films?
They don't really say it. It's got something with sleep in the title or something like that.
I think
Should we go sleepy films?
Films is your best category.
Yeah, we'll do sleepy films.
Sleepy films it is.
A lot of pressure on Luke there.
Yeah,
He threw you the ball. Yeah, we're looking for anyone, according to IMDb, who appeared in any of these films, please. Anyone from the 1978 film The Big Sleep? Anyone from the 1999 film Sleepy Hollow? Anyone from the 2010 film Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps? So according to IMDb, any actor who appeared in any of those films, please. Very, very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of your answers to be pointless. You don't have to answer all 3 categories. Focus on whichever categories you like the look of.
And also, I would say they have to be credited. The actor has to be credited in the film.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
OK, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Oh, that's tough.
That was a tough one for me. Sleepy Hollow, I've seen the remake, but I haven't seen the actual one.
Yeah.
I know Johnny Depp's in it.
Okay. Well,
That's probably the only one I can think of. The Wall Street one, that's the Gordon Gekko, so it's Michael Douglas is the dad. And I can't remember who plays the son. It's either... Charlie Sheen was in the first one, maybe?
Charlie Sheen. Ooh, I don't know if he'd be in that recently.
No, it was Shia LaBeouf. No. Oh, I'm very stuck on this one, to be honest.
I've never heard of The Big Sleep, 1978.
No, I haven't either.
We can think about Sleepy Hollow. Do you know who's in the remake? Might be in the original. What? That is the original, the 1999 one.
10 seconds left.
The original one, yeah. Okay, so I reckon just gonna have to go Shia LaBeouf. Just
Michael.
He might be in it for Wall Street.
Yeah.
OK, that is your time up. Let's have your 3 answers.
OK, I think we're going to go Shia LaBeouf.
In which category?
For Wall Street.
For Wall Street,
yeah.
Money Never Sleeps. Shia LaBeouf.
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
And Sleepy Hollow would just have to go Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. OK, of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Shia LaBeouf.
OK, Shia LaBeouf will put last. Least likely to be
Johnny
pointless?
Depp.
Johnny Depp will put him first. OK. Michael Douglas in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have got Johnny Depp, we've got Michael Douglas, and we've got Shia LaBeouf. There we are, 3 answers up there. Very, very best of luck. If one of these turns out to be a pointless answer and wins you that jackpot, what would you like to do with it? Luke, I'm going to ask you first.
Well, me and my girlfriend are planning to go travelling after uni, so I definitely put some money towards that. Yeah, maybe use money over the summer so I can do an unpaid internship, just so it will keep me going through that.
OK, very good.
Definitely one of the 2.
Very good. Jack, how about you?
I live out in the sticks. I've always wanted an old Land Rover.
Wouldn't that be nice? OK, well, best of luck. 3 answers on the board. Let's hope one of these is pointless and wins you that jackpot. Your first answer is Johnny Depp. In this case, we were looking for the cast of Sleepy Hollow. If Johnny Depp is pointless, you will leave with that £1,000 jackpot. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is right, unsurprisingly. He just has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. There we are. He stopped on 57. I think no great surprises there. Not a pointless answer. We now move on from Sleepy Hollow to Wall Street, and you've gone for Michael Douglas. Wall Street Money Never Sleeps is the film we're looking for. Any cast member from that. Michael Douglas is pointless. You leave here with £1,000. How many people said Michael Douglas? Well, it's right. 57 is what Johnny Depp scored. We pass 57 down. We go with Michael Douglas to 38. OK, moving on to your third and final answer. We're now on sort of more positive territory here. Shia LaBeouf is the answer you've given. In this case, we're looking for, again, cast members from Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps. If Shia LaBeouf is pointless, you leave here with £1,000. How many people said it? Well, it's right. Your first answer was Johnny Depp, took us down to 57. Michael Douglas took us down to 38. We passed both of those. Shia LaBeouf now taking us down through the teens into single figures. Down we go, 7. 7 for Shia LaBeouf. It's a great answer. But I'm afraid we didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot, but do not despair. You get to take home a pointless trophy each, and it's been tremendous having you on the show. Lots to be proud of across the show. Some great answers there, but thanks so much.
Yeah, it's been a terrific performance, Luke and Jack. Very well played. I'll go through some pointless answers in the different categories. Hopefully there won't be ones you recognise. I suspect there won't be in the Big Sleep, which is that it's got lots of great kind of doyens of English film acting. Let's take a look at a few of them here. These are pointless answers you could have had. Diana Quick, Edward Fox, John Mills, Oliver Reed, lots of other great old British actors, Colin Blakely, Don Henderson, Dudley Sutton, Richard Todd, all sorts of answers there. The biggest answers, Robert Mitchum, James Stewart, Joan Collins and Sarah Miles. Everyone else was a pointless answer. Moving on now to Sleepy Hollow. There'll be some names you recognise here at home, I suspect. Alan Armstrong, who's been in all sorts of things. New Tricks, of course, famously. Claire Skinner, who's the mum in Outnumbered, amongst, again, many other things. Ian McDermott, who is Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars. He's in that. Richard Griffiths, of course, is in millions of things, including With Ned and I. The scoring points there, Johnny Depp, we've already seen. Christina Ricci scored 12. Christopher Walken would have scored you 4. Then Michael Gambon, Miranda Richardson, Casper Van Dien, Christopher Lee and Michael Gough were the other answers there. Everyone else was pointless. And finally, Wall Street. Money Never Sleeps. Let's take a look at the pointless answers there. Eli Wallach, who was in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Magnificent Seven, all that sort of stuff. Frank Langella, nominated for an Oscar for Frost Nixon. Susan Sarandon was a pointless answer there. Warren Buffett, who played himself, the famous American investor. The only people who scored points, Michael Douglas, Shia LaBeouf, Kerry Mulligan, Josh Brolin, and Oliver Stone has a little role in that film as well. He would have scored you 1 point. Very, very well done if you got any of those pointless answers at home.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard, and thank you, Luke and Jack. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.